What's up, guys? New School Cool here. Going to adjust the camera for just a second. This is going to be part 2 of my Hearthstone tutorial and walkthrough and basic setup in advance of the new expansion. I figured I would throw some videos out there, so if there are any new players who maybe are unsure about what to do after finishing the basic tutorial, here's pretty much the next step. So today I'm going to go over how to build a deck, what a deck should look like, how to balance a deck out, things like mana curve, and all sorts of fancy terms that you don't necessarily need to know. But here is the deck building page. You go to my collection, you hit make a deck, so you get to choose from your heroes. After you've unlocked all of them, you have warrior, shaman, rogue, druid, hunter, paladin, warlock, mage, priest. For this demonstration, I'm going to build my top performing deck, which is actually my priest deck. So I'm gonna see if I can do it from memory and not have to look at what my actual construction is. But we're gonna build the priest deck because I personally love running priest, and there's some really good combos that work with priest. So I'm gonna build custom. You can build the classic, you can build strike with the shadows, Cthulhu, but I'm gonna go custom. So they give you some recipes here so that you have a basic idea of, you know, decks that can be successful. I prefer building my own. Sometimes I will build one of these, but I like to build my own. Alright, so first what we get to do is you draw from that class's cards, and you also get to draw from the neutral cards. So first things first, I'm gonna draw the cards that I like. One of my favorite cards is Inner Fire, and I'll explain why in just a minute. So you can right click the card to see what it does, change your minion's attack to be equal to its health. Pretty good card. For 1, it can be used to mitigate an enemy and also to insanely buff one of your high defense but low attack minions that have low cost, which we'll see that one later. Alright, Northshire Cleric I like because this deck is centered around keeping my minions big, keeping my minions healthy, and this allows me to, whenever a minion is healed, I get to draw a card. Pretty useful. Give a minion +2 health, draw a card. This helps with early game acceleration and maintaining that board control, and also late game it can help if you're starting to top deck. This can help you get out of that. Top decking is when you have no hands and cards, no cards in hand, and you're just picking up one card each turn, and so there's really not any element or strategy that you can have. You don't have a hand, so you can't trick them into, you know, thinking you're up to no good. Now, Divine Spirit. I love this card. Now, already, some of you may have noticed a combo building. I've got Divine Spirit, which doubles a minion's health, and then Inner Fire, which changes the attack to be equal to its health. So again, if I'm going to go with a low-cost minion that has high defense and high health and low attack, all of a sudden I double that health, and then I match the attacks. So they just become small, pretty inconspicuous thing that gets left alone, and then it becomes a monster. Mind Blast is an okay card if you like going directly at them. I have 2 gold versions. Can I disenchant? I can't. Oh boy. Shadow Word Pain and Shadow Word Death, they are decent for controlling the board, but I am going to do, I'm going to show you the whole combo, and then I will go over that later. Light Spawn. This minion's attack is always equals to its health. That can be really useful. So it starts as 0-5, you drop it for 4, it's a 5-5. You can heal it to keep it back up at 5, so always maintaining its 5-5 ability, or you can, in combo with Divine Spirit, make it a 10-10. Super useful card in this deck. Next, let's see. Power Word Tentacles. High cost card, but it gives +2/+6. Why do I want +2/+6? Great question. Because, again, Inner Fire. All of a sudden, instead of just getting +2/+6, it's really a +6/+6 for 6. It's not necessarily great, but it can swing late game if you've got one small creature on board all of a sudden, or one small minion on board, all of a sudden it's a giant minion. Temple Enforcer I like, because you need a healthy curve. So here we can see the cards and the mana cost. We can see the curve. I have 0/0 drops, I have 6/1 drops, I have 2/2 drops, 2/4 drops, 2/5 drops, 2/6 drops. Now I have no 3 drops, and nothing higher than a 7 drop. So I'm going to need to balance this out a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to want to scale with a little bit more 2s and 3s. Ideally, you want it to be like a parabola, so you're going to have low amounts of 1 drops and a high amount of middle, so that way you can accelerate the mid game. But this deck is not built like that. It's a little funky. Usually you would want to see a mana curve, but here you can tell I need 2 drops and 3 drops, so that way, and even 4 drops, so I have something in the mid game. Now, with that in mind, I like Holy Nova because I deal 2 damage to all enemies and restore 2 health to all friendly characters. This is good for board control and keeping your guys healthy. Alright, so now we've got mostly spells in this deck. I get a couple creatures. So let's look at our minions. I got 2 minions here, 2 minions there, 2 minions here. So I have 6 minions and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spells. So obviously I'm going to need to get some more minions, otherwise I'm not going to have anything on board. So Light Warden, I like to play because Light Warden in conjunction with Northshire Cleric is a nice little combo. Yes, I know, that's way too many 1-drops. We'll get back to this. Whenever a character is healed, gain +2 attack. Now this is character, not just minion, unlike Northshire Cleric. So you can heal yourself and they get +2 attack. Pretty useful. Alright. Now, let's see. The Voodoo Doctor, I do like. Acidic Swamp Ooze. Very balanced card. 2 for 3/2, and if they happen to have a weapon, you destroy it. This is great against warriors, this is great against rogues, this is great against even shamans sometimes will have weapons. But even without its battle cry, a 3/2 for 2, that's pretty good. Because you've got the 3/2 for 2 here with the Bloodfen Raptor, but the added ability to destroy your opponent's weapon. What else do I like here? I like Fairy Dragon. It's a 3/2, again, a 3/2 for 2. It can't be targeted by spells or hero powers, making it pretty hard to move off the map. Means it's basically got something that's not hard taunt, like Ascension Shieldmaster, but soft taunt. So they're required to attack it because their spells and their hero powers can't remove it. What else do I like here? Let's see. We need some more 3-drops and things to that effect. What do I have up my sleeve? I've gotten a bunch of new cards. Earthen Ring Farseer, 3/3 for 3, restore 3 health. Why? Because this is all about keeping my big guys healthy. Let's see. Not on this page. Shattered Sun Cleric, 3/2 for 3, but you give your another friendly minion a +1/+1. Really useful on Lightspawn. Do 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 do. One card that I do like kind of mixing in sometimes is Mugashan Warden, because it's a 1/7, and again, if we change using Inner Fire, we combo that with Divine Spirit, then we're looking at a 14/14 with Taunt. That's scary. So sometimes I'll throw one in here, just for the amusement of it all. Alright, this card right here, my bread and butter, Gurubashi Berserker. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain +3 attack. Now, the whole point of this is that it gains +3 attack whenever it takes damage. So it's better than an Enrage. An Enrage happens once, it's done. This is every time. So what you do, you double its health, you make it a 14/14, and then it becomes stronger and stronger, and you just keep healing it, healing it, and healing it. So we throw 2 of these in here, for sure. And last but not least, I like to throw 1 big creature in here, just to say that I have one. I'm trying to figure out what I want most here. There's really nothing that I have that's great in the neutral big minions. But one thing too, I can always throw in, just for good measure, flick all the way back to my priest deck. Mind Control. If they drop something mythic or something ridiculous, it's great endgame. Flip things around, even if you take it just for 1 turn and use it to kill something else really strong, it can be a really useful piece. So having 1 in there balances it out a little bit. So let's look here again at the mana curve. Not exactly where you want it to be. I have a very strong early game trying to get things on the map, but most of those 1-drops are going to be spells, not creatures. Most of the 2 and 3 drops are your creatures. The 4 and 5 drops are mostly creatures and minions. So there aren't too many spells mixed in. Most of my spells are what the low cost is, so it kind of skews the curve a little bit. But you get the idea. Oh boy, I have the hiccups. So hopefully this has been a little helpful in helping you decide a deck, picking cards, having it a theme, and sticking with it. So the theme with this deck is take the guys with little attack and lots of health, and make them very big and scary with card combos. And then in the meantime, sustaining up and having multiple options of winning. So I could do this with Lightspawn, I could do this with Mugushan Warden, I could do it with the Gurabashi Berserker. All of these cards give me the ability to make them giant, and that's basically this whole play. It's wait until you get them on the board, control the board until then, and at that moment strike, get a huge combo, and surprise them. They may have, 20 health ideally by the mid to late game, in which case you can swing all of a sudden with a 14-14 and they're down to 6. And if they don't have any creature removal handy, they're in trouble. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you saw something I was doing wrong, please let me know, because I'm always looking to improve my win-loss ratio. I'm sitting at probably 60-65% wins with this style of deck. There are a few pieces that I swap in and out, but this is mostly the same kind of theme that I build around. So let me know what you think, and I will see you next time, where I'm going to be going over crafting cards and going through quests. Alright guys, catch you later.